Hey everyone, happy Sunday. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope it's been a fantastic day. I've wanted to hop on and just to share with you something that's been on my mind for through conversations that I've been having in the last week and things that I've been thinking about. And just wanted to share that with you. Thanksgiving is coming up, and the conversations I've been having with a lot of previous clients and then family and friends is how to stay on track when you're coming up through the holidays and you're working really hard to keep the inflammation low. How do you keep going? So many people that just did my sugar boot camp a week ago had some phenomenal results. They started to feel less joint pain. They started to just feel more energy and to feel less grumpy and hangriness, all the things that can be driven by sugar. And when we come into the holidays, that's one of the things that really drives our inflammation is the sugar, the refined foods. We have so many different treats that we are used to eating. They are traditional, they feel good, they're comfort foods, but they also tend to cause inflammation. And when you already have chronic inflammation and you're working to reduce that in your life, if you add more of that on top of it, it just compounds itself and becomes worse. And so instead of going into the holiday season feeling great, you start to feel worse, and then you kind of don't have the energy you want to have, and you don't have the pep when you get together with friends, and sometimes it causes you to cancel events just because you just don't feel good. So I put together 3 tips that I wanted to share with you that you can use to help stay on track and move forward through the holiday seasons, through Thanksgiving dinner or any of the gatherings, whether you're at a party or just doing dinner with the family. And I wanted to share those with you. And I also have a free resource that you can find in the link below, below the live box, where you can grab that. If you're on my mailing list, you've already received it. But if you're not, I would really, really love for you to have this. It's a free resource, something that you can just take and use and put forward in what you're doing for the holiday season. We're planning Thanksgiving right now. It's less than a week and a half away, and everybody's starting to think about what meals they're going to prepare and whatnot. So use this resource as something that you can refer to and make your plans as to what you're going to eat. It includes some tips on healthier swaps that you can make with the traditional foods that are often on the tables, but also it talks about some of the things that cause the inflammation, some of those typical culprits that maybe you're not aware of, and what to look for. And then also it's got some really yummy recipes, some things that you could try, switch out some of the your traditional, stuffing, for example, and try something new that doesn't come with all the bread crumbs and all of the added things that just drive up inflammation. So I hope that you'll grab that, see what you think. But for the 3 tips, first and foremost, it is food. I'm always going to talk about food because food can be one of the big drivers for you when you're looking to reduce inflammation, because what you eat matters. No matter what anyone tells you that doesn't know the journey, that has not tried the things, it does matter what you're eating. And so trying to focus on foods that are anti-inflammatory. And what does that look like? You want to fuel your body with foods that are anti-inflammatory, with foods that are going to fuel your gut, the gut bugs that really help drive down inflammation, and then that don't inflame you. And what does that look like? It really comes down to plants. There are a lot of plants. The range of plants are endless. And the problem is that most of us do not eat enough plants. And when we don't have plants in our daily meals, we are not nourishing our body or our gut the way it needs to perform at optimal levels. So I always encourage a plant-forward eating practice where you eat 85% plants and 15% your animal products. It doesn't have to mean that you can't eat animal products, because that is part of life. Eat well-sourced ones, wild caught and farm pasture, free roaming, all those things, but make sure they're well sourced, but really make the star of your plate the plants. Okay. And when you're doing that, you're really nourishing your gut. You're helping it get the things it needs so that it can do what it needs to do for your body and take care of you. Again, a mindset could be where you think about 85% plants, 15% other, and then when you're looking at your plate, is the star on your plate plants, and then the secondary role or the supporting actor role be your other. So just keep that in mind as you're building your plates and thinking about your food choices. When you eat these types of foods, they're going to help you feel satiated longer. They're going to help you with your blood sugar levels. It's endless, the things that it does help you when you're looking at eating foods that really nourish your body. Okay. Second thing is to consider bringing a dish to share. When you're going to an event, whether it's, if it's a family or a close friend, and you can feel comfortable saying, hey, I'm really working on my inflammation. I would love to bring a dish to share that, I could share with others. More than likely, they're going to be thrilled to have you do that. And if it's someone that you don't know, if it's, say, a company party, then just let the organizer know that you would love to bring a dish to help share the responsibility and help out with that. More than likely, like I said, everybody is thrilled to have that extra help, so you don't have to try and figure out all the things for people to eat. And what I love is that when you bring something like that, it not only takes care of you and you feel good about what you're eating, and you don't have to worry that there won't be something there for you to eat, but you may inspire someone else to step outside their comfort zone, to try something new. And a lot of times people, if they're trying something that is new to them and they find out who brought it, they want to know more about it, and that might open a conversation that you can have if you feel comfortable sharing why you brought that or what you're working on. And what I love is just that when people start making steps and changes in their journey, it is a ripple effect. And it may not happen until you start seeing the positive outcomes and people start going, what are you doing? What's working for you? You're making you look fantastic. Things look great. You have all this energy. Tell me what you're doing. That's when a lot of people want to know more. But it's a ripple effect. So if you start to do things like bring a dish to share, not only are you taking care of you and feeling good during the moment and leaving the gathering feeling as good as you did when you came, but you might also inspire someone else. So I think it's really important to consider that as an option. And the third thing is something I talk a lot about with my clients is knowing your why. Knowing your why when you are working on a health journey is so important. It can help you in those moments where it feels really hard, in those moments where you feel like you want to quit because you think, is this really worth it? Or you've had a lot of people questioning why you're even doing this. It's so much effort. When you kind of dial in and you remember your why and what has prompted you to do this in the first place, it always will help push you through those hard times. And for me, when I'm working with my clients, I help them understand that it's not just so I don't hurt as much, so that I feel better, but what do you gain when you feel better? When you don't hurt as much? What are the things that go beyond that you get to enjoy and live life through it to its fullest? Think about those things when you kind of feel stuck about, maybe you brought your healthy dish, but then you still see all these amazing treats and desserts that will set you off and you're really struggling. Do I have one? Do I not have one? Consider it. Think about your why. Now, I will say all that, and it really depends on where you are in your journey. But if you are in a place where you feel like you have things under control and it's not a hardship for you to have a small treat, then do have that. Because if you tend to just, create this battle within you where you're pushing back and saying, no, I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to have it. You actually create a bigger problem than before. So consider where you are. If it's something where you are in this lane and you feel good and confident, and you're like, don't even have that desire, because as you start eating more plants, your taste buds begin to change, and the temptation for sugar, the desire for sugar, the desire for those carby bread foods, all of that starts to go away. So it really depends on where you are in your journey, whether you want to try that or not. But just the bottom line is just always consider your why. Consider where you're at, what your ultimate goal is, and whether that will serve you well or not. So I hope that these tips are helpful. Just 3 things to think about as you get ready to plan for your Thanksgiving meal, whether you're gathering around the table with family and friends or you are traveling that day. Just consider these things and see how you can implement them in your day and in the meal planning. And if you're going to families' houses, maybe you can get in on the planning for the meal and throw in a couple of these recipes. So don't forget to grab that free resource. I hope it's helpful for you. And if you have any questions, be sure to just put them in the comments below. Let me know as you watch this, if you're watching this on the replay. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day. We'll talk to you soon.